Hello you, welcome back to my channel. So, it's a Planet Earth English channel. I just watched a video from Joey Carbstrong, which is a vegan activist, and I think it was pretty good. So he basically was out.
Yeah. You guys want a burger?
He was out giving vegan burgers to people in the street when the police came, because he also had two screens showing what happens to animals. So basically, they wanted him to turn off the screens because they said it was being upsetting to people, and the video is very interesting because
it's just about what's going on these screens. It's not appropriate.
Well, who said?
People, just like if someone was stood with a sign.
So they are saying basically the two police women, police officers. The two police officers are telling him that somebody called the police because of those screens showing how animals are treated in slaughterhouses and more generally in farms. So how they are farmed, and it's obviously pretty violent the way they are treated. So they are treated pretty badly. And somebody called the police because they wanted him to turn off the screens, but he basically tries to explain that given that people buy those things, they also should be allowed and be happy to know how those products are produced. So he talks to female police officers, and they gave in at the end, and he continues his business, basically donating vegan burgers, delicious vegan burgers, Beyond Burgers, which are truly delicious. I've myself tried them. They are pretty similar to regular burgers, and so they gave in the end, but at some point later on, more police officers come to the scene.
People can't even see it, but they pay for it to happen. Like,
No.
you know, it's pure hypocrisy.
It's pure
Like,
hypocrisy.
she probably go in, whoever it was, a man or a female, probably went and bought a burger after it. Yeah, but
So he was obviously saying that animals being slaughtered and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When people get upset.
So the problem is that he argues that only one person called the police. So why should he turn off the screens just because a single person, who might be whomever, call the police. So it's not relevant that only one person call the police if there is not a crime being committed. That's his argument with the police against what the policemen are telling him. And the video is pretty interesting because at the end of the video he turns off the screens, but actually the cops, the policemen begged his pardon, basically. So told him that they were very sorry for what was happening, and that they perfectly understood what he was saying, and they were also happy to see that he was so eager to defend the animals' rights, etc. So basically, I think it ended pretty well. Even if Joey had to turn off the screens, it's the first time, as far as I know, he is obliged to turn off his screens, and because it's not the first time he does something like that. Even people, generally vegan activists, do such things, and they normally are not forced to turn off their screens. They generally are allowed to show what happens within animal farms. So basically, the result was not that bad, because yes, he had to turn off the screens, but the policeman actually stated that he was right, because he also said, well, I also could call the police just because I see somebody eating a steak, because I feel hurt by the sight of somebody eating a steak. So why then you would be forced to let him you would be forced to act on this person just because I don't like what he does. And it's obviously quite an argument, because if one person calls the police, it doesn't mean there is a crime. It doesn't mean he's breaking the law, basically. So that's quite an argument. In fact, also another argument on the part of Joey is that practices I show in those videos, in those screens, are actually standard and legal in the UK. And so why, if they are legal, why should I avoid showing those images to the people? Well, it's such an argument. I don't think anybody could argue against it. It's pretty obvious that if you buy something, if you buy a burger, if you buy a steak, if you buy whatever you want, a turkey, you should also know what happens to those animals, and how those products came to the supermarket you bought them from. So I think it's such a good video, and I leave the link to the video in the description, so that you can go and watch it. So have a good day. Subscribe to the channel, of course, because I will be glad to see that you are watching my videos and like the video if you think it is useful to some extent, and watch the video from Joey Carbstrong too, which is pretty interesting, I would say. So thank you so much. I would just like to share something with you, to talk with you and just reflect together about the global situation and how a plant-based diet could also be an element in the equation of changing this world, basically changing how modern society relates to the rest of the planet, basically, because we as a society, as a global society, are part of Earth, a part of this planet. So I think we should reflect a bit about how we lead our lives, and also what we eat. I'm not saying everybody should be a vegan, because I don't know, I think that everybody should reflect upon what they eat, what they consume, how they buy, what they buy, and why they do it. If they do it just to conform, if they do it because it is necessary, if they do it because, I don't know, why do you buy meat and dairy, for example? So what's the propellant? So what's the thing that pushes you to buy meat and dairy, for example, or something from animal farming in general? So that's what I would like you to reflect upon, if you like, if you want to. Okay, I would do the same myself. So if you want to join me in that reflection, because I'm not perfect either, so let's think together about it and see whether it is possible for us to eat less meat or no meat at all, and less dairy or no dairy at all, for example, or I don't know, whatever you think is okay for you, and whatever makes you feel okay with yourself. Okay? Thank you so much. See you soon.